Hi guys, so this is going to be a reading for the Divine Masculines. It's designed for those who are recognising that they are in a twin flame dynamic. This isn't going to resonate for absolutely everybody because it's still a general reading. It's also not gender specific or zodiac specific. As always, please use your own discernment. The intent here is to basically help the Divine Masculines to navigate through the energies that are currently around them at this time. As always, I cannot censor, choose, nor control what is coming out of the cards, okay? I'm literally just reading them, and it's up to you what you decide to do with it. You do have free will. Tarot is not in charge here. You are. All right. For everything else, please do read the descriptions box. Okay, so this is for the Divine Masculines, and I'm going to start this reading by taking a look at the strongest energies that is currently around you at this time. And we'll see if we can build up a clear picture of what you're dealing with. It's for the Divine Masculine, please. Okay. Right, so you've got the map maker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration and free will. Yeah, absolutely free will. It's 24, which is reduced to a 6, and 6s pertain to perseverance and advancement. So with this particular card for you Divine Masculines, I'm seeing that the hard work that you've been putting in, that there is going to be a payoff. It's going to be something tangible for the efforts of your hard work. You are picking up the mantle of your true and authentic purpose. So with this energies, I'm getting the strongest vibe here that most of you, not all of you, but most of you have either stopped running or you are ready to stop running from your path, from your destiny. There's definitely a realization here that ignoring or running from this particular situation is futile. Okay. You might have been noticing a lot of synchronicities as well, you know, all of the messages that the divine direct in your direction, to the point where you felt like you were going a bit crazy at times as well. It's just gotten to the point where it's become so much that to deny it would be insane at this point. It's like the realization of things that in the past you would have written off as just being strange coincidences. You're at that point where you can't write them off anymore as being these strange coincidences. There's a realization that in your current situation, it feels too orchestrated, it feels too planned for any of it to have just been a coincidence. Okay. You have battled with the idea of you having free will as well. You have, because you sat there and questioned, okay, well, if these things were divinely orchestrated, then exactly how much free will do I actually have, like, for real? Your free will trumps everything, okay? You are free to choose. However, you also would have to face the consequences of any decision that you make. Whether it's accepting that you are a divine counterpart or not, there is always a consequence. And consequences are not just bad things. There is such a thing as a good consequence as well. So don't ever lose sight of that. You do have free will. It is up to you. However, this particular connection, it is time for you to stop running. It is time for you to surrender and to go with the flow somewhat as well. You don't have to sacrifice anything about who you are, okay? That's not what surrendering is all about. It's not surrendering the rest of your life to an entity. It's not about that. It's about surrendering, fighting against it. It's about acceptance. It's about accepting who you truly are behind the mask that you wear for society. Who are you deep in your soul? Are you truly happy in your current career? Are you truly happy with your current circle of friends? Or are you just keeping on to these things because you always have done? Are you keeping on to these things because it's easier to hold on to them than it is to admit that you might have outgrown these people, these places, these things? That's what surrender is. It's admitting that that there are things or people around you who are no longer congruent with who you truly are on the inside. Okay, can we take a look at the Divine Masculine's current energies, please? It's the Divine Masculine's current energies, please. Thank you. Yeah, the Nine of Swords. I'm not surprised. Nine of Swords is Gemini energy. It's the card all about stress, worry, grief, anxiety. It's the card about not getting enough sleep at night. And it feels that obviously you've been through quite a lot. It feels that you've been neglecting your own needs with this particular energy. You've then got the Six of Swords, it's Aquarian energy. The King of Swords, that's Aquarian energy again. The Five of Coins is Taurus, and the Nine of Coins is Virgo. So yeah, there's been a huge shake up here to your life, Divine Masculines. And honestly, you have 100% got my sympathy here. Your life as you knew it is falling away piece by piece, brick by brick. And it's designed so that you can rebuild yourself. You can piece yourself back together in a much better form. Right, so that there is a reason behind this current madness. Right, with this Nine of Swords as well, with it coming out with the Six of Swords and the King of Swords, you're on the other side of a dark night of the soul. All right, as I've already said, everything has felt completely out of your control, and after this surrender and release, you're going to be reclaiming back your control. You're going to be reclaiming your true authenticity. It's not that you're going to be who you were a couple of years ago, right? You're never going to be who you were a couple of years ago, ever. That person is gone, right? There is a grieving process here for yourself that you have to go through still for the person that you used to be. And then there is going to be a cause for a celebration for the person that you are about to become. This is a death rebirth, and that is exactly what a dark night of the soul is. It feels like you're dying on the inside. And when you rise again, when you come back again, you are going to be so completely in balance with yourself, and you're going to find new pieces of you, if that makes sense. You're going to discover who you truly are. And I'm not talking about who you are to the world. I'm talking about who you are in your soul, right? These are two completely different things. I'm seeing here for this particular Divine Masculine that there was an uncomfortable emotion that pertained to you showing your authentic emotions, right? It's not something that you were accustomed to. That I'm seeing toxic masculinity where you were taught one way and you were taught to hide your feelings and your emotions. You were taught to be stoic. You were taught not to cry. All of these really basic human emotions you were taught not to feel. You were taught to ignore them. You were taught to push them down and just be a man, right? I'm seeing here that very specifically this particular dark night of the soul pertains to rewriting everything that you were taught. It is okay for you to be upset, and it is absolutely okay for you to have a cry as and when you need. There is no shame in it. I'm seeing with this Six of Swords that you are coming out of that old belief system that does pertain to you hiding your emotions. It is a very basic human thing to show your emotions. You're also coming out of feeling that you're not enough and feeling that you don't have enough with the Five of Coins, right? With you rewriting your old programming, should we call it that, you're heading straight towards the Nine of Coins, which is feeling grounded, stable, secure. You're coming into the energies of not needing anybody's validation of who you are. You don't need anyone to tell you who you are, Divine Masculine. You know who you are. You know your worth. You know your value. And if that's not resonating for you right now, then it's showing me that between 5 and 9 months' time, you will be. This is you laying down the foundations of your brand new self, the person that you were always supposed to be. And this is very much your current energy. I don't even need to clarify any of that because it's coming through really, really loud. In fact, somebody needs to go and have a bit of a sob right now because I can feel that heaviness in my chest is building up. So whoever it is that I'm connecting with, if you feel that you need to pause this video and let something out, go for it. Absolutely go for it, because the times of you keeping everything pushed down and hidden underneath the surface, those days are behind you. What are the outside influences affecting Divine Masculine at this time, please? Thank you. Yeah, the Tower. That's Mars energy, so that's Aries or Scorpio. A revelation. Your outside influence, the Tower, that was your catalyst to your dark night of the soul. That's your old life falling away. And I saw the Tower energy in your Nine of Swords. So I'm not going to go over it again because I've already said it once, okay? But I was definitely picking up the Tower energies in your Nine of Swords. Outside influences, please. Thank you. The Fool. Yeah, there we go. The Fool. Your brand new beginning. The start of your brand new life. You've got someone around you here, Divine Masculine, that is very, very loyal to you. Some of you could be a dog lover as well. And at the moment it feels that your dog is literally your only friend on the planet. And that's absolutely fine. For others of you, this particular dog is symbolic for your spirit guides. All right, so some of you might be, you might have at the moment, because your spirit guides constantly change, and your animal spirit would be a wolf for some of you. So it's following your instincts. You're being guided to listen to your instincts. You're being guided to be loyal and courageous to you and to your personal cause, right? You're also being guided to be a leader as well. Side influences effect. Thank you. 8 of Cups, it's Pisces energy. So your outside influences. Now, this can either be you deciding to release everything that you were trying to hold on to too tightly, that was actually counterintuitive to your progress. And for others of you, this trigger, this catalyst to your dark night of the soul pertains to your divine counterpart walking away from the connection. So it's going to resonate slightly differently for a lot of you, depending on which path you're currently on. Let's see how to come with this, please, for Divine Masculine. Thank you. Judgment. That's Pluto energy, so it's Scorpion energy. Judgment, second chances, listening to your higher calling, having your spiritual awakening, hearing messages, actually hearing the messages from your spirit guides, being divinely guided, being divinely protected, asking for a second chance from your counterpart. You're not quite ready yet, Divine Masculine, but you're close. Whenever I ask for the outcome in these twin flame reads, I'm directing more towards the short-term outcome rather than the long-term outcome, because if I go for the long-term outcome, it can tend to get a little bit too messy and a little bit too confusing, because it's almost as if it's skipping a step. And it's really, really important in these twin flame connections that you don't try to run before you can walk. All right. So this is literally your next step in your progression, is to get something off your chest with the Ten of Swords, get your feelings off your chest, get these emotions out there, to ask your divine counterpart for another chance, and to start listening to your divine messages that are coming in, the divine messages that up until this point you have been trying to ignore, you've been trying to shrug off because you couldn't make sense of it. This connection for you, it goes against logic, and you couldn't. That's what I mean when I say that you couldn't make sense of this connection. It went against your own logic. With divine connections, it does go against logic because you're dealing with a spiritual connection. It also does challenge everything that you once thought that you knew was real. And the King of Cups, Scorpion energy. Emotional stability, emotional maturity. Again, expressing your emotions in a very healthy and a very balanced way, because you've done the shadow work, you've put the work in. And you'll notice that already, I haven't looked at your blockages yet, but already it's come full circle to your first oracle, where we were saying that the rewards for the hard work that you're putting in now, you are going to see tangible evidence of your success. And the fact that you're able to be more comfortable with your emotions, with the King of Cups energy, is your proof of that. And then your blockage, the Eight of Wands, communication, action. That is a very temporary blockage, right? You're stopping yourself at the moment because you're listening to your instincts. Your instincts are telling you soon, very, very soon, just not right now. Because right now you're still going through a lot, you're still working through a lot. And again, instinctively, you'll feel when the right time is to reach out and communicate to your divine counterpart. It's really important that you don't put too much pressure on yourself at this point, okay? Because I keep saying it, you've gone through a lot. You're still going through a lot. And the kindest thing that you can do for yourself right now is to continue focusing on yourself. And under there, yeah, the Hanged Man, that's a very spiritual card. Waiting for your epiphany, waiting for the answers to come to you. Diving into your spirituality head first. Can we get further clarity on this read, please? The Divine Masculine. Okay, endurance, keep going. Yeah. It says, be prepared to develop your strength and tenacity. Continue on the journey that you're committed to. This is not the time for any self-doubt, and take yourself up to the next level. Yeah. This really is not the time for you to be second-guessing yourself. You are on the right path here, Divine Masculines. Keep going. Adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Wherever the tide is taking you, peaceful positivity, not making any decisions other than just be. Yeah. So your guidance at the moment, again, I'm trying to avoid going over everything that I've already just said. You're not quite ready for this action and communication yet, but you soon will be. Right now, just let everything wash over you until you can find your feet again, until you re-collaborate after everything that you've just come through. You do need a chance to re-scope your surroundings. And then honour the masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine, express who you truly are and not who you were taught to be. So again, it's bounced right back to your first card where I was mentioning about toxic masculinity. That's what you've been working through. Honestly, there is no shame in being emotional when you need to be emotional. None whatsoever. So love energies around the Divine Masculine, please. Okay. Oh. Right. Unrequited love. Now, see with this deck, I don't think it's been written very well. I think it could have been written out a lot nicer than how it currently is. It says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That's not what's going on here, Divine Masculine. And I know that for a fact because that is your fear. That is one of your fears that has been holding you back. You have a fear that your twin flame connection is one-sided. It isn't. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So your divine counterpart, for those of you where they have walked away from the situation, you will find that most of them were directed into doing that, right? Because there needs to be that period of separation between you so that you could go through your dark night of the soul. They were told to walk away from this connection temporarily. It's showing me that the connection's going to come back in when the time is right, when you're ready to initiate. And there's going to be a very heartfelt conversation here between you both, where there's not going to be any ego involved in the conversation. It is going to be from the soul. Finances and career. financial issues are a factor in your love life right now and under there, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So again, we did see your career was in your first oracle card, where some of you have had such a profound change to your life that it's affected your family, your circle of friends, and your career. Some of you are trying to rebuild a career as well, while trying to deal with all of this, because of course bills still need to be paid. You know, spiritual connection or not, bills need to be paid still. So you're finding the nice balance between the spiritual world and the physical world. You have discovered a bridge between the both, so that you can visit each world as and when you need. So when you're at your workplace, you're focused on your job. And then when you're at home, that's when you focus on your spiritual journey. You have really, really nicely separated both worlds. It's a really, really nice energies. And again, with your true love card, it's funny how it's sitting right underneath your unrequited card, right? Because again, it's proof that you felt it was one-sided. And it isn't. It's very, very much mutual. In fact, your divine counterpart, because they're your mirror, they're going through very similar as to what you're going through. And equally, they feel that it was somewhat one-sided as well. So love energies around divine masculine, please. Okay, friendship. Nurture the bonds of your friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. And freedom. There's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. And acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times you must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. So with those cards, it's basically telling me that you have surrendered the need to control this particular situation. You have a secret message, please, from Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine. Secret message from Divine Feminine. Thank you. Okay, so your Divine Feminine would say, I know I've really screwed things up and I don't know how to fix it. So they feel that they screwed things up. They haven't. I haven't come towards you because I'm afraid, and I see you in my dreams. What should Divine Masculine's focus be, please? Thank you. Past programming. Choose your beliefs, recognize false stories, external conditioning, and make decisions that support your goal. So that is your focus. Keep working on that past programming. You're absolutely on the right path. It's the Divine Masculine, please. Okay, something just jumped. Right, she is the moon. The wisdom of patience is knowing when to act and when to wait. Your manifestation is unfolding in perfect timing. Yeah, so it's literally all about timing, right? So you feel, Again, as I've already said, I do apologise. I know it's another repeating message. Trust your instincts. You feel that right now is not the time, but very soon it will be. So trust it. It's for Divine Masculine, please. Okay, right, star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation, star bathing meditations. This card can indicate your light body, which is your energy body in its highest form, is being activated. Yeah, that's you being spiritually awoken from your slumber, basically. You've been activated by this connection. Inner Earth, there are solutions beyond what you can perceive. You will survive this. New solutions and beginnings, surprising outcomes to your problems and situations, resolutions to all involved, and in the best interests of all. So with this card, it's basically saying that you're not on the losing side of the table here, right? Whichever happens next, you're still going to win. I don't know if saying that is the correct thing to say, because it's not about win and lose. It's just saying that if this twin flame connection comes into union, that's a win. If this twin flame union does not come into union, then it's still a win, because you have still achieved something that not many in this lifetime have achieved, which is being spiritually awoken, living in your truest authenticity and living in your highest purpose. There isn't many people that can manage to do that. So it's not focusing on the union, but it's focusing on yourself and focusing on the things that you've already achieved because of this connection, because of this being a catalyst to your spiritual growth. Lifting the veil, a time for purging. Question everything. Anything that is unaligned must go. Looking deeper and questioning everything that the previous generations did and bringing things back into harmony. Yeah. I'm literally I'm going to struggle to clarify further on that card, because again, it's everything that I've already just said. It's all about your past programming. It's all about the way that you were brought up, the things that you were taught, that they were not in anyone's best interests. It was just as a way to keep control of you, basically. The golden children indicates being called to nurture a child. Inner child, tenderness, innocence and rare gifts. Tend to your inner child, a creative idea or a project or a brand new beginning, to nurture it and to nourish it and to be kind. Okay, so yeah, you are currently working on that inner child and working on being kind to your inner child. If you can imagine the younger version of you sitting in a chair opposite you, and if you can imagine you telling that child, which is the younger version of you, right, have a conversation with that child and tell them all of the things that the adults around you told you when you were that age, and how that would make you feel actually saying those words to that child. And then start talking kindly to that child. Tell your inner child, you are loved, you are lovable, you are worthy. You weren't treated correctly. You didn't deserve any of that. And I love you. the Divine Masculine, please. Okay. Spirit messages. Observe limitations. Okay, so I always say with a lot of oracle cards, you usually get 3 messages that come with each card. Your first message comes from the creator of the deck. Your second message comes from you and your intuition by looking at the card. And then your third message comes from your reader and their intuitive messages. So it says, observe limitations, reflect and adapt to your surroundings. The beautiful hovering hummingbird is a positive animal totem. Its simplicity and seemingly effortless glide across flower gardens reminds us to take things slowly. Often believed to float between the realms, the hummingbirds are light bringers. Their healing hum encourages you to open your heart to receive love in your life. The hummingbird can travel across large distances despite its small size, and it has the ability to even fly backwards, reminding us that no matter where we are in life, we can always take a few steps back and try again. Being willing to step back and to see things differently in order to take in the sweetness of this life is all a part of the hummingbird's blessing. The hovering wings of the hummingbird move in an infinite loop, the figure 8 pattern. The symbol, defined as an unending sequence, this powerful symbol represents endlessness, the infinite life of the spirit. Right now, you have spirit guiding you. There are many messages around you that are waiting to be acknowledged. Pay attention to specific encounters, as these special meanings will bring confirmation from the spirit realm. Know that right now you're being visited by past loved ones, and they're asking you to be observant of the signs that they are sending to you on a daily basis. Be aware of these moments as your mind wanders to nostalgic memories from the past. You may be visited by loved ones while you're lucid dreaming. Keep a handy journal next to your sleeping space so that you can record these moments immediately. Please acknowledge these signs and the communication with love and gratitude, as it takes a great deal of energy for these special encounters. The beautiful hum of the hummingbird inspires magic and joy to those that witness those joyful encounters. If you witness the flight of the hummingbird, know that luck and positivity is on its way. The shadow aspect of this card is all about creating complications and being over-analytical. So avoid over-analysing anything at the moment. The crystal that it suggests that could be beneficial for you at this time is moonstone. The archangel associated with this card is Archangel Phanuel, Phanuel, which they are all about hope, eternal wisdom and heavenly guidance. And the positive affirmation that comes with this card is, I am ready to receive confirmation from my spiritual team now. There's a lot to unpack in that particular card, so much. The path that you're currently on, it is part of your destiny. And so you are being heavily spiritually guided, and a reminder to avoid over-analysing anything, right? You're definitely on the right path. And try not to come down too hard on yourself as well. You tend to kick yourself if you feel that you've made a mistake. You tend to replay mistakes over and over and over in your mind, and that can be quite counterintuitive, okay? So it's just to make sure that you're aware of whenever that's happening, so that you can reel it back in again before it becomes a problem. Right, a blessed idea. An idea manifests endless blessings, but you must act to bring that idea to life. The time is right. Know that the world is full of ideas floating around aimlessly until someone notices and breathes life into them. This is your time to shine. Have faith. Yeah. Don't be so quick to poo-poo your own ideas, right? Especially when it comes down to your career as well. Whatever it is that you're working on with your career, keep poking at it, because there's an idea you've had that pertains to gaining extra finances and financial stability. Investigate that further. Don't just brush it off as like a fleeting, silly idea, because it's not a silly idea. It's actually a really, really good idea that can be beneficial to you if you invest in it. It's a really nice read, really nice energies. So yeah, I just genuinely hope that that was helpful to you, Divine Masculines, that it's helped you to figure out a few things and to put things into perspective as well, because that is the idea behind these reads. You'll notice that I did refrain from mentioning your divine counterpart, and I will try to do the same in the Divine Feminine's read as well, because I just prefer these reads to be all about you rather than the connection. I just think that it's more beneficial to whoever is attracted to the read, and it can potentially speed things up for you as well, hopefully, anyway. So yeah, that is what I have for you. If you'd like to book a private read with me, then the link to do so is in the descriptions box, and it's in the pinned comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely, lovely week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.